Eddie Murphy, a name that once shone brightly as a symbol of comedy and Hollywood stardom. From a boy growing up in the tough streets of Brooklyn to becoming a multi-million-dollar icon, his life and career are inspiring. He brought laughter to millions but faced struggles, failures, and unforeseen controversies. But what caused Eddie Murphy, the king of comedy, to fade away from Hollywood's limelight? Was it a conscious choice for a peaceful life or an unavoidable tragedy? Join us as we delve into the highs and lows of Eddie Murphy's extraordinary journey and uncover the truth behind the man who made the world laugh. Early life. Eddie Murphy rose to popularity from a tough background. Bushwick-based Edward Regan Murphy was born in Brooklyn on April 3, 1961. Father Charles Edward Murphy was a police officer and amateur comic, while Mother Lillian Murphy was a telephone operator. Early love and struggle shaped Eddie's humor and grit, which would characterize his career. The Murphys suffered a catastrophe when Eddie was 3. Lillian raised Eddie and Charlie alone after his father was slain in a fight. Eddie rarely talked about his father's early death, but it affected him deeply. He used humor to cope, which became his greatest strength. "My father was funny," Eddie said in an interview. "He could make people laugh in tough situations. I likely inherited that from him." After Charles's death, Lillian became too unwell to care for her sons. Eddie and Charlie spent nearly a year in foster care. The young boys' friendship deepened as they supported one another throughout a difficult moment. Eddie subsequently said, "I think that period of our lives taught us a lot about survival and resilience." Charlie and I teamed up. Lillian reclaimed custody of her sons and relocated to Roosevelt, an African-American Long Island community, after healing. Eddie had a more stable upbringing after the transfer, despite the hardships. From childhood, Eddie could make people laugh. He impersonated voices, created characters, and entertained family and friends with his humor. Richard Pryor, Bill Cosby, and Red Fox, African-American comic icons, influenced his technique. Eddie's humor was both entertaining and defensive. From a working-class neighborhood, ID with few resources and many problems, Eddie utilized comedy to relieve tension in social interactions. He became known as the class clown for his jokes and instructor impersonations. One instructor saw Eddie's potential and pushed him to compete in talent competitions. These early performances helped Eddie understand that making people laugh was a calling, not a pastime. Television and pop culture. Impact Television helped Eddie develop his funny style. Sitcoms and comic programs were his childhood obsession, and he studied the timing, delivery, and style of performers. He loved I Love Lucy, The Ed Sullivan Show, and Sanford and Son, and wanted to be on film. "I used to watch TV and think, I could do that," Eddie stated in 1984. "I wanted to be on stage, making people laugh like the TV stars." Eddie admired Richard Pryor much. Eddie was motivated to create a thought-provoking comedy approach by Pryor's social criticism. Eddie loved humans in his teens. He started performing stand-up at local bars at 15, sneaking into locations where he was too young to attend. The crowd liked his early impressions and observational humor, giving him a tiny but dedicated following. Eddie Becamet is famous for imitating celebrities and creating larger-than-life personas. He braved tough themes on stage with maturity above his years. Eddie's confidence and talent made club owners and comedians realize he would succeed. Eddie improved his comedy at Roosevelt High School. He composed and performed school skits and used humor in his classwork. Eddie studied hard and loved theater and storytelling despite his pranks. Early career. Eddie's mother, Lillian, nurtured his skill, especially early on. She supported Eddie's goals despite financial difficulties. Eddie often praised Lillian for teaching him hard work and tenacity due to her resilience and determination. Charlie Murphy, Eddie's older brother, also influenced him. Charlie, who subsequently became a comedian and actor, shared Eddie's humor and creativity. Brothers frequently brainstormed together, challenging each other to imagine greater and aspire higher. Eddie went full-time into comedy at 17. The Comic Strip, a famous Manhattan comedy club, was where he learned his art with other emerging performers. Electric performances with incisive remarks and enticing charisma kept spectators in stitches. Eddie auditioned for Saturday Night Live, SNL, a failing sketch comedy show in 1980. Eddie was hired as a featured player, but became the show's breakout star. Buckwheat, Gumby, and Mr. Robinson were immediate classics, launching him into the national limelight. Eddie Murphy's childhood was rough, funny, and hopeful. These formative years gave him the grit, work ethic, and humorous genius that defined his career. Eddie's path from father bereavement to adolescent comedy star is a tribute to perseverance and humor's transformational power. Eddie remarked of his childhood, all the struggles, all the pain, they were the fuel. They gave me the will to make others laugh and brighten the world. Eddie's drive and originality helped him launch a breakthrough career that changed comedy in Hollywood. Eddie Murphy's climb from difficult beginnings to Hollywood stardom is a story of talent, tenacity, and persistence. After losing his father early and spending time in foster care owing to his mother's sickness, Murphy acquired a strong sense of humor to survive. He became famous for his inherent comic abilities, launching a career that changed comedy and entertainment. Murphy's first big break came at 19 when he joined SNL in 1980. After losing key cast members, the show struggled to stay relevant. Murphy's entrance was pivotal. Murphy became the show's breakthrough star with his limitless energy, bold humor, and ability to create distinctive characters. His depictions of Buckwheat, Mr. Robinson, and Gumby revitalized SNL and thrilled viewers. Murphy was a celebrity and a hot topic by 1984 when he quit SNL. Murphy's cinematic debut was amazing. He made his film debut in 48 Hachers in 1982, alongside Nick Nolte as Reggie Hammond, a fast-talking criminal who partners up with a tough cop. The picture grossed over $78 million and made Murphy a celebrity. His charm and humorous timing set him apart in Hollywood. The biting social satire Trading Places, 1983, featuring Murphy and Dan Aykroyd, followed this breakthrough. Murphy portrayed Billy Ray Valentine, a streetwise hustler trapped in a high-stakes gamble by two affluent businessmen. The film grossed over $90 million and showed Murphy's range as an actor. Murphy's early career was defined by Beverly Hills Cop, 1984. The movie was rewritten as a serious action film for Sylvester Stallone and turned into a comedy-action combination for Murphy. His portrayal of quick-witted Detroit officer Axel Foley in Beverly Hills' affluent, quirky environment resonated internationally. Over $316 million worldwide, the picture was the year's highest grosser. Murphy's humor, charisma, and relatability made him one of Hollywood's most bankable performers. Beverly Hills Cop's 1987 and 1994 sequels were box office hits. Murphy demonstrated his flexibility and originality as his cinematic career progressed. Murphy played Prince Akeem, a rich African prince seeking love in Queens, New York in Coming to America, 1988. John Landis's picture grossed over $288 million worldwide and became a cultural phenomenon. Murphy's portrayal of the prince and quirky barbershop clients showed his comic talent. Murphy's comedy, compassion, and depiction of African culture make Coming to America one of his most popular films. Murphy's stand-up comedy talents complemented his film accomplishments. His 1983 and 1987 programs Delirious and Raw are genre classics. Delirious, recorded when Murphy was 22, showed his raw skill and fearlessness in handling relationships, family, and race. Murphy became one of the most prominent comedians after the performance was a smash. Raw followed Delirious 4 years later. The film grossed over $50 million, making it the highest-grossing stand-up comedy concert film ever. Murphy's stand-up routines were ahead of their time, combining social critique with personal stories and unrestrained humor. In the 1990s, Murphy made family-friendly films for a wider audience. The Nutty Professor, 1996, marked this change. The adaptation of the 1963 classic starred Murphy as meek, overweight Professor Sherman Klump and his alter ego, Buddy Love. The film grossed over $273 million worldwide and showcased Murphy's humor and compassion. Murphy played a doctor who learns to talk with animals in Dietrich Doolittle, 1998, another family favorite. Its warmth and humor earned Murphy a sequel in 2001 and made it popular with younger viewers. Murphy also shaped early 2000s voice acting. He introduced his energy and wit to a new audience as Donkey in DreamWorks' Shrek. A critical and economic triumph, Shrek 1 grossed over $484 million worldwide in 2001. The series' global popularity, which topped billions of dollars, was due to Donkey's wit and charm, which Murphy recreated in later sequels. Murphy received many entertainment awards over his career. He received a Golden Globe for playing James "Thunder" Early, a disturbed but brilliant singer in Dreamgirls, 2006. This part brought Murphy fame and showcased his acting range. Murphy earned the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor in 2015 for his innovative career and humorous legacy. Murphy was one of Hollywood's highest-paid performers, earning $20 million a picture at his peak. As one of the first African-American artists to gain mainstream popularity, he paved the way for subsequent black comedians and actors. He pioneered and became a cultural figure by captivating audiences across genres and demographics. Eddie Murphy's career shows his brilliance and versatility. Murphy changed Hollywood humor and acting with his trailblazing work on Saturday Night Live, famous film roles, and innovative stand-up comedy. His status as one of the greatest performers is undisputed, even though his career eventually struggled. Married life. While Eddie Murphy's professional career was marked by extraordinary success and occasional setbacks, his personal life has been equally eventful, characterized by its complexities, controversies, and moments of vulnerability. From relationships to fatherhood and high-profile scandals, Murphy's journey reveals a man navigating fame's challenges while striving to balance family and public life. Eddie Murphy's love life has been a subject of media fascination for decades. In 1993, Murphy married Nicole Mitchell, a model and actress he had met at an NAACP Image Awards show. The couple shared a luxurious lifestyle, raising 5 children together: Bria, Miles, Shane, Zola, and Bella. For over a decade, their relationship appeared to be stable, even as Murphy's career saw ups and downs. However, in 2005, Nicole filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences. The split was finalized in 2006, marking the end of one of Hollywood's most high-profile marriages. Following his divorce, Murphy entered into a series of relationships that kept him in the spotlight. His brief romance with former Spice Girl Melanie Brown, Mel B, resulted in the birth of a daughter, Angel Iris, in 2007. Initially, Murphy denied paternity, leading to a public and contentious legal battle. A DNA test later confirmed that Murphy was indeed Angel's father, and he eventually acknowledged her as his child. The incident, however, added fuel to media scrutiny of his personal life. Murphy's relationships extended beyond short-term romances. He was briefly engaged to film producer Tracy Edmonds in 2008. The couple had a symbolic wedding ceremony in Bora Bora, but chose not to legalize their marriage. They announced their separation shortly after, citing irreconcilable differences. Despite these challenges, Murphy continued to pursue meaningful relationships and eventually found stability with Australian model Paige Butcher, whom he began dating in 2012. The couple has 2 children, Izzy and Max, bringing Murphy's total number of children to 10. For all the ups and downs in his romantic life, Eddie Murphy has consistently emphasized the importance of fatherhood. With 10 children from multiple relationships, Murphy has often expressed pride in being a father and maintaining close bonds with his children. In interviews, he has described fatherhood as the most fulfilling aspect of his life, noting that his role as a parent keeps him grounded amidst the chaos of fame. Murphy's children span a wide age range, from his eldest daughter Bria, born in 1989, to his youngest son Max, born in 2018. Despite his busy career, Murphy has made efforts to remain an active presence in their lives, often attending family events and supporting their endeavors. His daughter Bria, for instance, has pursued a career in art and acting, and Murphy has publicly praised her achievements. Though balancing fatherhood with a demanding career and personal challenges has not been easy, Murphy's dedication to his children has been a recurring theme in his life. Friends and family often describe him as a devoted and loving father who prioritizes family above all else. The Controversies. Eddie Murphy's life has not been without controversy. One of the most publicized incidents occurred in 1997 when Murphy was stopped by police in West Hollywood after being suspected of picking up a transgender prostitute. Murphy denied any wrongdoing, claiming that he was simply giving a lift to someone in need. However, the incident quickly became tabloid fodder, with speculation and criticism swirling around the star. Although no charges were filed, the incident damaged Murphy's reputation and subjected him to intense media scrutiny. Critics questioned his motives, while fans debated the fairness of the coverage. The event underscored the challenges of maintaining privacy as a high-profile celebrity and highlighted the intrusive nature of tabloid culture. Beyond this incident, Murphy's personal and professional decisions often invited scrutiny. His involvement in films like Norbit, criticized for perpetuating offensive stereotypes, further complicated his public image. While some viewed Murphy as a trailblazer in comedy, others questioned whether his humor and choices had aged poorly in a rapidly evolving cultural landscape. Despite earning millions during his career, Eddie Murphy faced financial challenges stemming from his extravagant lifestyle and significant child support obligations. With 10 children to support and a penchant for luxury, including multi-million-dollar homes and a fleet of exotic cars, Murphy's expenses were substantial. These financial pressures may have influenced some of his career choices, leading him to take on roles in commercially driven projects that were not critically well received. Murphy's spending habits were widely documented in the media, adding to the perception that his once unassailable empire was beginning to show cracks. However, Murphy has largely avoided public discussions of his finances, focusing instead on rebuilding his career and maintaining his family's well-being. In recent years, Eddie Murphy's personal life has taken a turn toward stability and contentment. His relationship with Paige Butcher has been a calming influence, and the couple's relatively private life contrasts sharply with Murphy's earlier high-profile romances. Murphy has spoken in interviews about his desire for a simpler, more peaceful existence, emphasizing his commitment to his children and his renewed focus on meaningful projects. Murphy's family gatherings, often documented in social media posts and interviews, reflect a man who values close-knit connections and cherishes his role as a father and partner. These moments of joy and togetherness serve as a reminder that, despite the turbulence of his personal life, Murphy has found ways to prioritize what truly matters to him. Through the highs and lows of his personal life, Eddie Murphy has maintained a remarkable sense of self-awareness. In interviews, he has reflected on the challenges of balancing fame with personal authenticity, noting that the pressures of Hollywood can often distort priorities. Murphy's ability to weather controversies, adapt to changing circumstances, and maintain his sense of humor speaks to his resilience and inner strength. As he approaches the later stages of his life, Murphy appears more focused on leaving a legacy of laughter, love, and connection. His journey, though fraught with challenges, has been one of growth, learning, and perseverance. From his complex relationships to his devotion to fatherhood, Eddie Murphy's personal life offers a glimpse into the man behind the comedic genius. A man who, despite his flaws, continues to find joy and purpose in the people and passions that define him. Tragic end. Eddie Murphy, once Hollywood's biggest star, has changed dramatically in recent years. Murphy's life isn't terrible despite his past as the highest-grossing entertainer. Instead, it shows a guy who has deliberately withdrawn from the spotlight to focus on family, personal fulfillment, and select professional objectives. Instead of a tragic end to his career, Murphy's tale is a mix of previous achievements, current tranquility, and a new feeling of success. Eddie Murphy prioritized family in his senior years. Murphy, a father of 10, often talks about his joy and purpose in parenthood. His relationship with Paige Butcher, with whom he has 2 children, has offered stability and balance. The pair avoids Hollywood parties and public appearances to focus on family. Murphy now prioritizes his family and lives a simpler life away from the entertainment business. He spends time with his family and friends at his Beverly Hills residence. Murphy has said in interviews that he enjoys this slower pace of life, calling it calm and meaningful. Murphy now picks his work carefully, unlike his past copious production. His Netflix documentary, Dolomite Is My Name, 2019, on struggling artist-turned-cult film star Rudy Ray Moore, was a hit after a long break from significant cinema roles. Critics praised Murphy's nuanced portrayal and called the picture a return to form. Murphy called the endeavor one of his most fulfilling years, reigniting his acting love. Murphy hosted Saturday Night Live in 2019, nearly 35 years after departing. He triumphed as crowds and critics praised his ability to regain his early career charm. It was a ratings hit and reminded viewers of Murphy's hilarious genius. Murphy returned to his 1988 hit in Coming to America in 2021. The picture got mixed reviews, but Murphy showed his willingness to adapt his prior work to new viewers. Despite his success, Murphy has refused to return to Hollywood, saying he appreciates his personal life and peace of mind more. Eddie Murphy's retirement reflects Hollywood and audience choices and trends. Since Murphy's peak, new performers and comic styles have dominated the entertainment world. Digital platforms, social media, and diversified storytelling have created a competitive field that favors younger and fresher talent. Murphy's innovative comedy has been criticized in a more socially concerned period. His stand-up specials, Delirious and Raw, have been condemned for using foul language and topics that are unsuitable now. Murphy has accepted these accusations and expressed sorrow for some of his former work, but humor has changed, and his legacy has changed. Pressure on Eddie Murphy during his height led to the belief that his life or career had a tragic end. One of the most prominent performers of his time, Murphy's early success set an almost unreachable benchmark for his career. Some have seen his drop-in box office hits and distance from the public as a fall from grace. Murphy has prioritized his well-being and personal fulfillment, but this tale ignores them. Murphy has sought balance after decades of hard labor, not a tragedy. He has repeatedly indicated in interviews that he has no regrets about leaving the profession and loves the freedom to focus on his priorities. Despite the perception of a diminished presence in Hollywood, Eddie Murphy's legacy remains untouchable. Legacy. His groundbreaking work on Saturday Night Live, his iconic film roles, and his contributions to stand-up comedy have left an indelible mark on the entertainment world. Murphy's influence is evident in the careers of countless comedians and actors who cite him as an inspiration. His ability to break barriers as an African-American performer in the 1980s and 1990s paved the way for greater representation in Hollywood. Murphy's ability to adapt and evolve also deserves recognition. From his early days as a fearless stand-up comedian to his more recent roles in biopics and family films, he has consistently demonstrated a willingness to take risks and explore new facets of his talent. While his career may no longer dominate headlines, his body of work continues to resonate with audiences across generations. Eddie Murphy today is a man at peace with his life and legacy. He has repeatedly stated that he has achieved everything he set out to do in his career and feels no pressure to prove himself further. Instead, he enjoys the freedom to choose projects that excite him, spend time with his family, and reflect on the incredible journey that brought him to where he is. Looking ahead, Murphy has hinted at possible future projects, including stand-up comedy and film roles. While his output may remain selective, fans and critics alike continue to look forward to his work, knowing that his talent and humor remain undiminished. Eddie Murphy's story is not one of tragedy, but of transformation. He has redefined success on his terms, prioritizing family, personal happiness, and creative fulfillment over the relentless pursuit of fame and fortune. While some may lament the absence of the prolific, larger-than-life Eddie Murphy of the 1980s and 1990s, others celebrate his journey as a testament to resilience, growth, and the ability to find meaning beyond the spotlight. Far from a tragic ending, Eddie Murphy's life today is a reflection of his strength, wisdom, and enduring legacy as one of the greatest entertainers of all time. What do you think about Eddie Murphy's journey? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. We would love to hear from you. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more interesting updates. Thank you, and see you in the next videos.